These are my note cards. Right, I am Bethany Williams. Did you know that 110 million animals die in labs each year? That fact is according to PETA. These animals include mice, frogs, dogs, rabbits, monkeys, fish, and birds, among others. In my opinion, humans shouldn't ever test on animals. According to an article by Ryan DeVillers, vivisection was originally known as cutting up live animals for experiments. Today, it's actually any experiment that can cause pain, distress, or harm a live animal. These animals are poisoned, starved, deprived of water, shocked with electric shocks, forced to endure invasive surgery, and they're infected with dangerous diseases. Some of them are also forced to inhale toxic fumes, have holes drilled into their skulls, have their brains mutilated, and have their eyes and skin burnt. If these animals don't die in the process of the testing that they're forced to endure, then unfortunately they are typically killed. Many of these animals end up having a lack of environment, enrichment, and live in stressful conditions, so they end up developing neurotic behaviors. Some of these neurotic behaviors can cause them to spin in circles, rock back and forth, pull their fur out, and bite themselves. These animals are also forced to take drugs to determine their effectiveness. According to PETA, 95% of the drugs that they find to be safe during animal testing end up failing human trials. These testing on animals are proven to be unreliable and dangerous. Another fact that I found from PETA was that 93% of cancer drugs that are tested on animals end up failing the first phase of human clinical trials. If they're not working in animals and ends up not actually being correct, then what is the point of subjecting these animals to this behavior? One of the problems that is causing this is that we're testing for diseases in animals that they typically don't have these diseases, such as Alzheimer's or schizophrenia. According to a 2009 survey, PETA found that 20% of mice and rats don't end up getting any sort of pain medication for any sort of postoperative care for skull surgeries, spinal surgeries, burn experiments, and other things that they're forced to endure. I don't know you, but I cannot even go an hour without taking an Advil when I have a headache. So I can't imagine having my skull drilled into and then not being given anything. Another alarming fact that I found was PETA also noted that in 2020, $19.6 billion were spent in the U.S. alone on animal experimentation. These funds were from taxpayer money, even though 52% of Americans that completed their survey opposed to the animal testing. An article from David Hogan stated that millions of animals suffer and die during testing for household products. These products can include cleaning products and cosmetic products. One of the animals that have testing is albino rabbits. With the albino rabbits, they do eye irritancy test. These rabbits aren't giving any sort of anesthesia, and then they have a liquid, a flake, a granule, or a powdered substance dropped into their eyeball. Their eyes are clamped open, and oftentimes they end up breaking their necks to try to get themselves free. The things that are dropped into their eyes can cause swollen eyelids, inflamed irises, ulcerations, bleeding, massive deterioration, and blindness. Stephen Hogan also noted that there are 500 manufacturers that are cruelty-free. There are many alternatives to animal testing. Some of them include cell cultures, tissue cultures, corneas from eyes from, unfortunately, people that passed away, and computer and math models. So I have to ask you, do you really think it's worth the 110 million animals suffering and dying annually to test products for us, especially when it is being proven to be unreliable and dangerous? I appreciate your time. Thank you.